Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Lando. You can get me on Twitter at LandoFF. Our main account is snap_fantasy. Make sure you slide into our DM if you have any specific fantasy football questions, whether it's trades, ads drop, what your team looks like, whatever it is. You can get us on our socials, and we will try to help you out as best as possible. Send us pictures of your teammates' teams or your teams and where we think you need to improve. But today we are talking about wide receiver for the Saints, Michael Thomas. He was a first-round wide receiver. He was the first wide receiver off the board. So whoever has him on your fantasy team, whether it's you, whether it's your league mates, we're all concerned. It just came up this week that he has a hamstring injury. He tweaks his hamstring at practice and doesn't participate. So what do you do with Michael Thomas? If you have him, you're probably losing. Unless you got a Myles Gaskin, you got a Justin Jefferson, you've got a T. Higgins, you've got, I don't know who else, Kareem Hunt, James Robinson. You have these elite guys that were available late in drafts. If you have them, you probably aren't winning. So you have a losing record. And you have Michael Thomas, you don't know what to do with it. If you don't have Michael Thomas and you're watching this video, and maybe you're asking, do I trade for him? What should I do? Is he too high risk? And I have a couple things. If you have him on your team and you're losing and you need to win right now, you know what? You could definitely trade Michael Thomas off your team. But you need fair value. You need a solid running back 2 and for sure a wide receiver 2, fringe wide receiver 1 in return for Michael Thomas, because you need bodies. You need to win some games quick. You need high upside plays. You need a Hollywood Brown type. You need an Odell Beckham type. You need a Justin Jefferson type, for example, if someone's willing to move him. You need types that really can win you games. If you play it safe and you get a safe player that doesn't have a super high ceiling, maybe like a Robert Woods, for example, although he's very good. Those are warm bodies that will get you fantasy points, but those alone aren't going to let you win. Those aren't going to make you win a championship or win matchups. They'll give you more than Michael Thomas did. But what I'm saying here, we don't play fantasy football just to come in second place. So if you're moving Michael Thomas, you need to get these home run hitters. Rookies like DeAndre Swift, for example. You need maybe that Kareem Hunt player as well. You need players that are safe. I mean, Zeke Elliott has been super disappointing based on his workload. Kenyon Drake has had the 5th most attempts of the entire season, but he had that big blowout 70-yard run last week. But for the most part, he's been disappointing. So you need players, these boom bust players, that, you know what, if they bust, I mean, you're going to be in the same situation you were in with Michael Thomas. But if they boom, you can actually win some matchups. So hit our DMs, hit the comments below, and we will do our best, the crew at the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast, to help you out and figure out what you're going to do. Now, if you're buying Michael Thomas, I think this is a great opportunity to buy him as well, because the owners of Michael Thomas are super disappointed, and you need to win your league. You are in championship mode. You need to get him on your team, because Michael Thomas is still the same guy that set the receiving record in 2019. He was the 101 for a reason, and this is a great opportunity for you to get him on your team. Before I continue, support for the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. They are the best in below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. I love this thing. I have the Lawnmower 3.0. It comes with a toiletry bag as well. I didn't know what a premium razor actually felt like until I got the Lawnmower 3.0. It even has an LED light to help you do some manscaping, some grooming. Make sure you use SNAP20 to get 20% off plus free shipping. That's SNAP20 for 20% off. So if I'm looking to acquire a Michael Thomas, I'll try to sell on some performers that really showed out this past week and the week before. So I would consider moving a DJ Chark, who had 14 targets. I'd consider moving that Robert Woods, the safe player that got some decent work. If you need a boom player like Darius Slayton, I will move for Michael Thomas. You need to probably get a couple pieces. You look for the owner that is struggling at the running back position potentially, and move that James Robinson, that Myles Gaskin. Maybe you do move a DeAndre Swift on that hype, because you know what? Adrian Peterson is involved, and so is Kerryon Johnson. And DeAndre Swift is not going to sustain that kind of efficiency in that offense. So these are the kind of trades that actually work for both parties. Maybe the guy in last place wants a DeAndre Swift, maybe as a keeper or as a boom player, and you're willing to sell on the hype of DeAndre. So if he does bust, you have the number one wide receiver in fantasy football. Michael Thomas is a great buy. I don't think that his hamstring injury is too significant. It's a slight tweak. He plays this week. I think he plays next. And if he plays, he's a must start on your fantasy team. You should, if you're a good fantasy owner and you don't have Michael Thomas, the guy that owns him is in last place, you need to be opened up the lanes of communication with this guy, and just to see. Maybe he's like, you know what? No, I'm ready to come back. My team has just been banked up. I'm ready to make a championship run. Or maybe he's like, you know what, guys? I just need to shake things up. They're tired of putting him on his bench or on their bench. And so if they're not interested, great. But you should at least do your due diligence as a fantasy owner and figure that out. So you're watching this video. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to leave a like on the video. And we will see you next time. If you have other ideas for videos, drop it in the comments. We listen. We see these videos. And we're here to help you out as best as we can. So thanks a lot, guys. And we will see you next.